Hello, hello, me again. I wanted to have a little chat about social media and about the commonly known phrase of, social media is a highlight reel of people's lives, which is true. I mean, people post what they enjoy. People don't tend to share the bad things as much. If you look at an average person's Instagram wall, it'll be beautiful pictures of them with friends, going places, having dinner, their pets, all the nice moments in life. Um, and more often than not, unfortunately, all of these things will also be highly edited and filtered, and you know, half of what you see isn't actually real. And that's where I think the problem starts with social media's highlight reels because it sets a benchmark that we then end up trying to compare ourselves to when it isn't even a benchmark that's actually attainable because it's filters and editing. So I think social media use is it can be a great thing. It has done some good things. It has managed to connect people during big protests when they had no other means of communicating with each other. It's done all sorts. It can be really really well used for activism. So I'm not saying social media is all bad. I'm just saying that when you're someone who consumes social media, you kind of have to realize that a lot of it isn't actually real. Um, some people just use it as a wall of happy memories. So it is a highlight reel, but it's just their own little personal highlight reel that makes them feel good when they look at it. Other people really hide behind it. And when you're a social media user, I think it's important to realize which of the two you're doing. Are you posting things that made you happy? Or are you crafting an image? Because that's the big difference. Um, Personally, I just post things that make me happy, or I post things that make me think, or sometimes I post things that I want to spread awareness about. So, I mean, I have in the past spoken about my chronic illnesses and other things that are not typically fun topics, um, but they're important topics, so I post about them. So, if you look at my social media, it isn't just a wall of perfect images because I also don't do filters. I don't do makeup. I dress exactly the same most of the time because I'm basic. I just wear jeans and a hoodie and then I'm happy. So it isn't the curated, crafted type of Instagram wall that you can find on some other people's social medias. Um, it's just your average person posting average photos, which I like. I like that that's what it is because I think we need a little bit of balance in it. When we see too many photos that are too perfect, it'll start tugging at us and we'll start thinking, why am I not like that? Why are my photos not that perfect? Or what does that person have that I don't have? I want that life, or things like that. Um, I have to say I struggle with that a bit because I don't actually, I don't, I'm not sure if I know how envy feels. I don't know if this is an autism thing. I've never looked at someone and thought, I kind of want their life. But yeah, I know that a lot of people struggle with this, where they see these photos, and they're like, "Oh my God, I wish I had that," or "I wish I could do this," or you know, me, I'm perfectly happy sitting at home most of the time. I'm not an adventurer. I see pictures of beautiful holidays elsewhere, and I think, good for them, but I don't want to go. Um, but I know for a lot of people, it can make them feel very inferior when they see all these things that other people are achieving, and they compare themselves to it. But you can't compare your full picture to a fragment of someone else's life that has been carefully chosen, because every image that's on there has been chosen, has been looked at, has been posted for a reason, probably because they thought it was nice and probably because it represented a highlight for them. So you've got the bulk of your life with all its nuances and complications and just everything that life has in it. You've got this tiny piece of someone else's life, and you're comparing the two as if you can compare them directly. And that's where we have a problem, because that is a surefire way of ending up feeling completely inferior when you're not. You just, you might not have had the same experiences, but that doesn't say anything about you. Not everything you see on social media is real either. So it's not a standard that you have to meet. It's not a standard that you have to, a benchmark you have to set for yourself and be like, I want to be that person who can post a holiday in Bali one day, and then 3 weeks later they're in Greece, and then a month later they're here. I mean, if you really want if you really want that kind of life, then go for it, work for it, that's amazing. But if it's purely the social media that makes you feel inferior, maybe have a little reevaluation of how much time you spend on it, and maybe try to read a little bit about the way that social media can be toxic. Because a lot of people struggle with this, and a lot of people feel a deep sense of inferiority because social media has made them feel that way. Social media started off as a place just to share life, and it really has become a place where mostly we share the very best and occasionally the very worst, but there isn't any interest in I guess the algorithms don't have any interest in it either. No one's going to post the pile of dishes that they're about to do and be like, oh, time for dishes. We don't see those parts of life. We don't see the parts of life that every single person has to do. Everyone has to do their laundry. Everyone has to clean their bathroom once in a while. Everyone has to make their bed or change their bed sheets or clear the table after they've eaten. Everyone has to go to groceries. All of those things. We don't see those on social media. We just see these clips of perfect moment, perfect moment, perfect moment, perfect moment. And it's very hard to see that there's a lot of stuff in between that it's just normal human life. We're all just people. There is no such thing as perfection when you're a person, because we're complicated creatures. We're very complicated, overgrown apes with bald apes at that, with big brains and a lot of anxiety. That's what we are. So I don't know if this has been helpful to anybody watching. It's just a little reminder to be careful on social media and to not take everything you see as the truth, first of all, because of filters and editing, and to not compare yourself, because it's not a healthy benchmark to compare yourself to. Comparison doesn't really help anybody, and especially not yourself. So, yep. Have a good one.